Greetings and welcome to GamezMadeEZ. I'm Dan Z. Solitaire gaming, while not widespread, is part of our gaming culture. Let's face it, it is sometimes difficult to gather people to partake in the hobby we love. It is nice to know that some games that we enjoy can be played in those situations. I, for one, highly respect games that come with or can be modified to support a single player. Board gaming for me is a way to de-stress at the end of the day, and my wife is not always interested or available. For others who find joy and benefit in solitaire gaming, I'd like to introduce to you a solo version of the 2 to 4 player game, Automania. I did a how to play video earlier that you can watch to learn the game. I will link that video below. This video will be a solo playthrough of the game in which I will explain the solo rules as I go. I will put a link down below if you'd like to get a printout of the solo rules. Let's begin with setting up the game. The game is set up just as a 2-player game, with you taking the color of your choice and assigning another color to Akio, the AI player you'll be facing. Akio receives his card tokens, turn order disc, and his score marker. He receives no starting contract. 2 neutral workers are placed in the upper left action space. If you would like to use this action space in the game, you will have to use 3 workers to knock out these 2. The last additional setup is Akio's bank pile. This is a pile of a 10, 5, 2, and 1 Autobuck token. At certain moments in the game, Akio will gain the top token in this pile. Randomly decide who takes the first position in turn order. If it's you, you receive 1 point and 6 Autobucks as usual. Akio receives 2 points and 2 Autobucks. If Akio takes the first position, he gets 1 point and 1 Autobuck, and you get 2 points and 7 Autobucks. Your game is now set up. Welcome to round 1 of Automania's solo playthrough. Randomly, Akio actually got first position in turn order, so he will go first. On Akio's turn, first thing you check to see if he does have 2 available workers. It is the first turn of the game, so of course he does. We then take the two 8-sided dice and roll them. The dice that lands further up or away from you is going to be considered his top die. The die that lands further down or closest to you is his bottom die. So this 2 is going to represent which column he chooses, and it goes from the corner and counts this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8. So the 2 goes right there. His other die was a 5, and again counting from the upper corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 5 will go here, which means Akio wants to take this station tile. When placing station tiles in Akio's board, you start with the upper left and you just go around the board. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and after 6 station tiles in place, you return back to 1 and you do it again. So we're going to place this one right there in his first station. Part 2 of Akio's turn is after the dice are rolled, he places workers in both of those action spaces, if possible. Third and last step is to take the dice that you've rolled and add them together, making 7. And if it is odd, you're going to use the leftmost worker, and if it's even, you're going to use the rightmost worker and activate that square. I have a little cheat sheet. I used the turn order marker sort of remind you. You can see odd pointing left and even pointing right. But with 5 plus 2 is 7. That is an odd number. That is the leftmost worker. So Akio is going to build a sports car. When Akio builds a car, it goes through all 6 stations on their board. It receives any styling tiles above, and of course any managers take effect as well. So this sports car is leaving the factory at 2 stars and with environmental trait. Remembering again that our dice 5 and 2 sums up to be an odd number, so he's going to sell to the left side of the board, which of course is America. Okay, this car is already 2 stars with environmental trait, and we can see America does value environmental at 2 more stars. So this car is going to end up in the 4-star boat to America. Now, I'm a big fan of taking a contract card right away just to give us a goal or at least a direction ahead, and I see that storage is popular in both markets, and we have a storage right here in the contract row. So that's exactly what we're going to do for our first turn. Is I'm going to put a worker here, gaining a contract card and also a tile out of this row. We're going to take this storage tile and we're going to put this storage tile right here, so that way both our city car and our family car will get the benefits of our extra storage. Looking at the available cards, I think we're going to take this one. I'm a big fan of getting styling tiles anyway, so I think we're going to take this and get a nice 4 points for doing so. With our turn complete, we check to see if Akio has at least 2 workers. He definitely does, so we're going to retrieve the dice from the board, give him a roll. All right, 8 landed further up, 1 landed further down. So 8 on the top means he wants the 4th column. 1 on the bottom means he wants the top row right there. So he wants this decor tile. Styling tiles simply get placed over the next available car that doesn't have one. So the next one will go here, and the third one will go here. And after that, it returns back and starts either upgrading or placing on top of ones that doesn't have that tile, that style yet. Step 2 of Akio's turn, of course, is to place workers in the rolled action spaces, which he can do easily. And lastly now is to take action. We have a 1 and an 8, which is an odd number, so the leftmost worker will activate. So Akio's building a mini car. Mini car is going to have 1, 2, 3 stars and environmentally traded. Being an odd number, he is selling again to America. So this is going to take the 3 stars and add 2 more for a total of 5 stars. Placing it in 5 stars going to America gives Akio 1 point. Based on our first action of taking the contract with all 3 styling tiles, I think our next move is going to be right here. We're going to replace Akio's worker with 2 of our own, returning that worker to Akio, and we're going to go ahead and take this styling tile and we're going to go ahead and upgrade our city cars with decor, giving each one 1 star. And we happen to be making a city car this round, so we're going to spend 1 to make that city car. It's going to get 1 star from the decor, and it's going to have extra storage. It does not matter which market we sell it to, because they both are going to add 3 stars to it. So that's going to be a total of 4 stars. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to put it in the 6-star category, spending 2 of our workers in marketing to increase its popularity from 4 to 6. That will give us the victory point for putting it into this boat. But more importantly, it's going to complete this starting contract we have to give us $3 more to spend throughout the game. With our turn done, we check to see if Akio does have 2 workers, and he absolutely does. So let us retrieve the dice and see what he does this round. Alright, 5 landed further top, 6 on the bottom. 5, of course, refers to the 3rd column, and 6th. The 6 refers to the 3rd row. Looking at the intersection, looks like Akio's taking a speed station tile, placing it into his 2nd position into his factory right there. Placing 2 workers where the dice lie. We have 1 right there. This one can't be placed there because he's already got a worker there. So this worker goes into marketing. Last but not least, taking action, we have a 6 and a 5, which is 11. That means the leftmost die will take effect, so he's going to build a sports car this round. This sports car is going to come out of the factory with 2 stars, speed, and environmental trait. Being an odd number, it is again being sold to America. America does not care about the speed, at least not yet, but they do care about environmental, adding 2 more to its already 3 stars. So this is a 5-star car, but let's not forget Akio did place a worker into marketing, and each worker in marketing adds 1 per round that you're in. So we're in round 1, so this worker simply adds 1 star to Akio's already 5-star car. So it's a 6-star car. Sadly, America is very popular right now. 6 car is taken. And I'm very glad that we took that spot. So it gets bumped all the way back here to 3 stars. We only have 1 worker left, and the entire European market is untouched. So we are going to use our last one. We only have 2 spaces available anyway that we can do with 1 worker. We're going to place right here. We're going to go ahead and have this $3 pay for, and with a little surplus here, the SUV that we're going to make anyway. So we're actually going to gain $1 in the total transaction to make an SUV. The SUV from our factory gains 1 star from that station, and then it has extra storage, and that is it, so 1 star. We are going to take advantage of the empty European market, so we're going to add 3 stars to our 1 star SUV because it does have storage, placing it into the 4 star boat of Europe. Onto Akio's turn. He only has 1 worker left, so without 2 workers means he's going to withdraw from the round. Any additional workers are placed into sponsorship space. Each time Akio places a worker here, he gains the top auto buck on his bank pile here. So he's going to gain this 1, which means he's going to have more money left over at the end of the game. This sort of is gives us a goal to make sure we have enough money at the end of the game to earn points as well. With that, he is going to withdraw, so we're going to take the dice. We're going to roll 1 of them, and as per the column in the action spaces, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8. He did roll a 7, so he's going to withdraw in the last position and sell all 3 of his cars. Well, we are out of workers as well, so we might as well withdraw. At least we have to withdraw. We have nothing to do with no workers. We have 2 cars to sell, and I really like both of those tiles down there. So we're going to go ahead and take this position here. And I think we're going to take the double star station tile. I think we're going to go ahead and place it in our sports car position right there. So the sports car always has an additional 2 every time we make one. With everybody withdrawn, we go on to the sales phase. Sales phase, of course, starts with America and just starts with the most popular card being sold. That is my own. And we're not doing too bad with money, so I'm just going to go ahead and take $3 and 3 points. 1, 2, 3, and give myself $3. Okay. Akio always sells his most popular cars, and he always sells for points. He does not care about money. He doesn't receive any money when selling. So he's going to take his next 2 cars and obviously take these 2 because they're the only 2 providing points. Remember, it's a 2-player rules, which means you can't double up in a row. In a 2-player game, you can only have 1 per row in these sale spaces. So Akio is going to take 3 points. And this last car is going to be sold right here, but doesn't give him anything because, again, money, he doesn't get anything for money spaces. I get to sell a total of 2 cars. I've only sold 1. My other car is in Europe. It is there all by itself. So, again, money is okay for this round, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take the 6 points for selling to Europe. Akio has lesser victory points than I do at the moment, so he gets to choose market demand. The bottom 2 from each market switch sides and goes above the opposite market. We move all demands down, and now it is up to whoever has fewer victory points, which again is Akio, to choose either both lefts or both rights. Akio is going to roll the dice. Even is the right side, so both right side demands drop down, and the other ones slide into those positions. We need to restock Akio's bank pile here, always with 10, 5, 2, and 1. So refresh the 1 that he took there. The 2 workers here were not displaced, so they remain in that spot. And now we are in round 2. Beginning round 2, I have the better turn order, so I will go first. Looking at the cards available and the cards I have, I think I want this space right here. We're going to take this spoiler and we are going to add that to the city cars that we already have the decor on. Remembering that our previous contract wants one with all 3, and the new card we're going to gain is actually a city car of 12. So having 3 improvements on that will help us get this. I think that's good synergy right there. We do have to pay 1 because it's our second style on the same car. Akio's turn is up. He does have 2 workers available. 8 and 5. 8 is the 4th column, 5 is the 3rd row, so he is taking this safety station tile. It would enter his 3rd position in his factory. We now place workers in both those positions. And 8 plus 5 is 13, an odd number, so we are going to act on the left die here, which is the sports car. This sports car is going to leave the factory with 1, 2, 3 stars and be environmental, speed, and safety. It is being sold to America. Let's check out their demands. 3-star sports car here. We do have the environmental trait for 3 more. That equals 6. These 2 traits are not given, so 6 it is. Putting it on the 6th spot gains Akio 1 point. We are going to now take 2 of our workers to displace this one up here in the contract action space, returning this worker back to Akio. We want the chrome here to go ahead and complete this set over our city car. That way it has all the chrome it needs. We now have enough to complete the card. It does cost 2 when installing your second one, and we are gaining a card. The card we're going to gain now is a nice simple one. Any car with at least some decor on it, 8+, we should be able to get that one pretty easily. So costing us 2, let's get ourselves our 3 change. There we go. Off to Akio's turn. He does have 2 available workers. Let's retrieve the dice. Alright, we have a 6 and a 1. 6 is the 3rd column, 1 is the 1st row. Oh, that little jerk. He's taking the research manager. Akio does not pay for any managers. He simply places them in the next available office space. So he now gets 1 extra star for all of his cars. Placing workers in the space the dice recommend, and they are both open. Last but not least, 1 plus 6 is 7, the odd number, meaning the left side of the board. So we are going to build a city car, and it's going to go to America. The city car, again, receives all stations and anything on the styling and office. So he's going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, and of course have all 3 of these traits: environmental, speed, and safety. Selling to America, the only one that's activated is the green, the environmental trait. So that takes the 4 stars it is, adds 3 more, making this a 7-star car. Placing it in the 7th spot gives him 1 point. Our next turn is going to be to take this action space to build a city car and take from this column. We're going to go ahead and hire this personnel manager and gain ourselves an additional worker. This will cost us 1 since it is our first manager. And here's our extra worker. We will now spend also an additional 1, so that way we can build the city car in the action space we're in. 1, 2, 3, and extra storage. We're going to decide to sell this to Europe here, since there are no other cars in Europe right now. So this is going to be the 3 stars it originally is, plus the 4 more from the fact that Europe really loves storage. So that is 7 stars. We're going to go ahead and put our new worker actually into marketing, making it 8 stars. So placing it in the 8th spot gains us 1 point. But more importantly, we now have the 8-star car with decor. Akio does have 2 workers available, so he will play again, retrieving these dice. Alright, 5 landed higher than the 6. 5 represents the 3rd column, 6 represents the 3rd row. So that little jerk is taking the other research manager. Akio does not pay for any managers. He just simply places them in the next available. So all his cards are going to be +2 popularity. Placing his 2 workers in those spots, you'll realize that he already owns both those spots. So both of these workers are going to go into marketing instead. Being an odd number means he is building from his left side, so he's going to build a sports car going to America. Sports car going to America. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars already. And with those 3 traits of environmental, speed, and safety. To America, once again, we know that environmental is going to add 3. So additional to the 5 he's got, here's 3 more is 8. Let's not forget he does have 2 in marketing, and it's round 2, so each of these are +2 popularity. So with the 5 from the board, 3 from here is 8, and 4 from marketing. This is a 12-star sports car. Putting it into the 12th position is a 3 victory point car. Well, we've been focusing a lot on we've been focusing a lot on cards, contract cards, and styling, but we really don't have too many factory tiles. So let's beef up our factory a little bit here. We're going to actually take this position here and take this speed tile. So we're going to put this speed tile on our sports car here. 1, because it makes sense. But 2, we have a lot of money, so buying the expensive cars is a possibility. So we might as well put it right there. Now we are building a family car this round, so we're going to spend 2 on that. It's going to gain 1 popularity. It's going to also gain storage and speed. Looking over here to Europe, storage is 4, speed is 2 more, so that's 6 plus the 1 that it already had, so that's going to be a 7-star car. Placed right there is 1 victory point for us. Akio now only has 1 worker, so that is not enough to take another action, so he is going to withdraw. Of course, the available worker goes to sponsorship. Anytime he goes into sponsorship, he takes the top auto buck and adds it to his supply. He will now roll to see where he passes into, or withdraws into. He withdraws into position number 3, which means he gets a card. We're going to roll to see which card he gets. He's going to get the 4th car in the row, which is the top one. So we don't know what it is. He's going to gain these points at the end of the game. Continuing to really buff up our factory for the future rounds, we're going to go ahead and take the only spot we can with 1 worker left, and that is that empty spot there. We're going to go ahead and take this. Should be that one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this safety tile here. And to continue to focusing on our sports car, but also our mini car, we're going to place it right there in that position. We are building yet another city car in this case, so that's going to be $2 more to build that. We have 1 star naturally, and then of course storage and speed. We're going to go ahead and just focus in the European market, taking that storage and speed for 6, and the 1 naturally is 7. Obviously 7 is taken because we took it last time. We'll put it in 6 and gain ourselves a point. With no more workers, I can now withdraw. I do have 3 cars to sell. Ooh, it's a tough one. I think we're going to go ahead and pass over here and sell all of our cars. The sell phase has begun. Akio gets 3 cells, and he's got 3 cars, so that works out for him. He is the only one in America, so all 3 of these are going to go here, and he's going to gain his 6 points. Now I've got $4 remaining from last round, and I mean I could take 12 points. It's a big boost in points, but $4 is not enough really to survive through the next rounds. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to take all these 3 side ones. I think I'm going to also take 6 points, but I get the $6 as well because I do get to sell them all, and he is not in this market at all. So I'm going to take $6 and 6 points. Akio does have 5 fewer victory points than I do, so he gets choice on demand. Both of these bottom demands switch sides and go above the other market. All demands shift down. And again, Akio gets choice on which side drops down. Rolling the dice, odd number is left, so we're going to drop the left sides down, and the storage spaces move into that spot right there. Refreshing his bank pile, he needs $1 placed on top of there. These 2 workers don't need replaced because they were never displaced, and we are now in round 3. We begin round 3, and actually Akio has a higher turn order, so he will be going first. He does have 2 workers available. Let us see where they're going. 7 and 1. 7 means he takes the 4th column. 1 means he takes the 1st row. He is getting a spoiler for his factory. Placed over the next car that doesn't have a styling tile. Remember, all styling titles work on all cars anyway for him, so that's 2 more stars. His 2 workers are placed on the 2 positions the dice lie. And finally, 1 plus 7 is an even number. That's the right side. So he's going to activate the card. So we're going to roll this die. And he's going to take the first die in the row. And for him, that is 3 points he'll be gaining at the end of the game. For our turn, we're going to take advantage of these wonderful styling tiles on the contract row. We are going to go ahead and just upgrade the spoiler to level 2 on our, remember when you're upgrading it, it's free, so on our city car, our spoilers are now 2 stars. From the available cars, it makes most sense to take this one. It's going to be the easiest to complete. On to Akio's turn. He does have 2 workers to use. Let's retrieve these dice. 5 and a 6. 5 means a 3rd column, 6 means a 3rd row, so he's going to grab a marketing manager. Remember that all managers don't cost him anything. They go in the next available office that is open, so he's now got 3 additional stars to all cars, and he's going to sell an additional card at the end of the round. Placing 2 workers where the dice lie, both of which are open, he can do so. He's got an 11, which is odd, so he's going to use this worker to make a sports car, selling it to the left side or America. The sports car is going to come out of the factory with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars and these 3 traits. The traits that match are going to be both the speed and the environmental. So in addition to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars, he's going to gain 6 additional stars. So this is going to be a 14-star sports car. Placing it in the 14 boat going to America, gains him 3 points. For our second turn, we're actually going to displace one of Akio's workers here in the upper right action spot. And we're going to go ahead and actually take this spoiler and upgrade the spoiler on our city car. And from the available cards, I think we're going to take this one. We actually have our sports car pretty souped up to get all the demands of Europe. So I think we can pull this one off. It is Akio's turn. He does have 2 workers available. Let's retrieve the dice. A 1 and a 2. 1 means first column, 2 means first row. He's going to take this 2 popularity factory tile and place it in his next available factory row, which would be the bottom right. He then places his worker 1 on the open spot. He's already got the slot, so this worker goes into marketing. Adding up the 2 and the 1 is a 3, so he's going to make a city car going to America. All right, this city car is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars and these 3 traits. Going over to America with 9 stars plus these 6 for these 2 traits he does have. So the 9 plus this 6 is 15. Let's not forget, though, he is also advertised for 3 additional ones since it is round 3. So this is an 18-star car, which makes it a top car. So as a top car rules, he sells it for the victory points listed here, 3. And then sells it right away, following the same sales rules as in the sales round. That is the space with the most victory points. So he is going to get 3 and 3 or 6 points, and this car returns back to his factory. All right, we got to get caught up. He's 4 points ahead with that last play, so we're going to actually displace this worker, giving it back to him. But we're going to take this speed factory tile, and since storage is no longer a really big popularity among either country, we're going to replace that with speed, giving it to our city car, which we are currently building. So I'm going to spend 1 auto buck to build the city car. It's going to receive 5 stars from its styling. It's then going to get speed and safety. Selling this car to Europe, speed and safety is 7 additional stars to the 5 it got from its styling. That is a total of 12 stars. That allows us also to complete this order of a 12-star car with all 3 styling tokens. Putting it into the boat going to Europe at 12 is 2 victory points to us. Akio has had enough workers returned to him that he actually has 2 to use, so he will continue to play. 6 and 8. 6 is the third column, 8 is the bottom row. 6 and 8 lead to this empty space. So again, we look at both dice. This is a 6, even means to the right, and that is an 8, even means down. So I'm going to go to the right and down, and I'm going to wrap around the board, so this space would then go to, let's see, down and down. So this space should be that space right there. Remember, going right and down takes us to this space, which is also not available. So we're going to continue going right and down. So our next space would be this one, and that is the thing, the tile that Akio will take. Placing it into the last available office. This is incredible. +4 stars, and he gets to sell 2 additional cars every round. Placing workers on those spots. This one is unavailable since it's already taken. This one replaces me, so I get that worker back. But that one that can't be placed is placed in the marketing. 8 and 6 is 14, an even number. That is the right side of the board. So this worker, or this die, activates, making a supercar going to Europe. Here's the supercar. It's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stars off the bat, not to mention these 3 traits. And this is incredible because selling to Europe, all 3 traits match exactly what it has: environmental, speed, and safety. So that is an additional 9 to the 10 it already has. That is another top car for Akio. 2 plus he always sells to the biggest points, so that's going to be 6, so, and returns to him, so he gets an immediate 8 points. We are in trouble. Alright, this round we want to focus on our city car, so we're going to place 2 workers there. We're displacing another one of Akio's workers, and we are going to take this, we're going to take this 2 popularity tile. We're going to go ahead and place that right there in our SUV slot, just in case we ever have to make one of them. But we are currently making a city car for 1 auto buck. Again, it's going to get its 5 starting from its style. Then it's going to get speed and safety. Speed and safety adds 7 to the 5 we had. That makes it 12. Selling it to the 12 slot is taken by ourselves, so we're just going to slip it back there to the 10 spot, still giving us 2 points. But more importantly, this was a 12-star car. That gives us 4 points for the end of the game. This might be the way we catch up to him. Akio does not have 2 workers, so he will withdraw for this round. He places his 1 remaining worker into sponsorship, receiving the 1 auto buck from the top of the pile. We will then roll to see where he withdraws into. He withdraws into the last slot. He's going to sell all his cars. He only has 1, so the dice were not his friends on that one. And it is our turn. With only 1 worker left, there's only 2 spaces available to us. We're going to go ahead and use one of them, and we're going to go ahead and take this 2-point environmental tile. We're going to place it over the non-point speed tile right here, giving now this SUV 2 stars, speed, and environmental. Looking towards the American market, we do have environmental and speed right there, giving it 6 in addition to the 2 it already has. That makes it an 8-star car. Placing it into the 8-star position puts it on the 2-point boat for 2 victory points. We are out of workers, so we must withdraw. We only have 3 cars to sell, so I might as well take. Ooh, getting this tile would be nice, getting those extra workers and 2 points. Yes, let's do that. Let's only sell 2 of our 3 cars. We'll go into that position because I really want this, and we're going to spend 2 to hire them into the next office, and that'll give us 2 additional workers. Starting the sales phase, we again start with America. Akio does have the top position, so he's going to take this position for 3 points. I'm down to $6. I think we can get away with going to the $4 spot, making sure we have enough cash for the final round of the game. Because on the other side of the board, I'm going to get my points by selling this car. You know what? I'm going to keep the 12 there. I'm going to take the 10. I can only sell 1 more car. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 10, move it to the 6th position, and get 6 points for that. We are now 3 points behind. Being 3 points behind Akio, we get choice of demand. These two are going to switch sides. These two are going to shift down. And for us, looking at our board, we have environmental, speed, and safety. So bringing safety back down will be beneficial to us. So we'll go ahead, and that means we also have to bring down the right side steering down for America. These two slide in, and that is our demands for next round. Refreshing the bank pile of Akios, putting the 1 back on top. The 2 workers were not displaced to replace them, and we are now in the 4th and final round. Here at the start of round 4, I do have higher turn position, so I do get to begin. I do want to complete this 16-star sports car. I can't quite do it with how I have it laid out right now, so what we're going to do is do this in 2 parts. Hopefully Akio does not take the tile we want, but I'm going to start we're going to start right here, and we're going to take this tile to start, and we're going to actually give it to our sports car. And our sports car, again, doesn't need, the first one's free, so it's going to get 2 free stars anyway. Now we are on an action spot to build a sports car, so here's $3 in order to do so. So that's 1, 2, and it's then going to get environmental, 1 additional star here and 2 more there, for a total of 5 stars, environmental and safety. Looking at the European market, we have 5 stars plus environmental and safety, makes it 5 more. This is going to be a 10-star sports car. 10 stars puts it right there in the 2-point boat, putting us right behind Akio. Akio does have 2 workers available, so we're going to roll the dice. And it's a 6 and a 6. 6 is the 3rd row. How dare he? He did it. He actually did it. 3rd row, 3rd column, he stole the speed tile we were looking to take. This speed tile will go into his 5th position on his factory board. These 2 workers are going to replace that one, and that one goes there. This one comes back to me. 6 plus 6 is an even number, so it is going to be going to Europe, and Europe's side is the sports car. Building a sports car, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so we have 10 stars naturally, environmental, speed, and safety. And with environmental, speed, and safety, it gets an additional 9, so that's 19. This car automatically goes in the top slot for 2 plus 6 or 8 points. We are in trouble. All right, Akio might have stolen that one, but at least there is one next door, so we're going to replace this worker of his. Take that position, take this speed factory tile, and we're going to put it right there in our supercar row. And we are in a supercar spot, so we are going to spend 3 and make a supercar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all 3 traits. Coming over here, we already have 4 stars. We have all 3 of these traits, making an additional 9. So 4 stars plus 9 is 13. And we are going to go ahead and use all of the workers we have, or at least 3 of the workers we have. We have a lot since because we have the managers. So we're going to take 13 and turn it into 16, giving us the final position on the boat, but more importantly, these 4 points, which are going to be important since Akio is building pretty popular cars. Akio does have 2 workers available to him, so we're going to retrieve the dice and see where he's going to go this time. It's an 8 and a 6. 8 is the 4th column, 6 is the 3rd row, so he's going to gain himself 2 victory points. He is then going to place workers in, oh, he can't place workers there because I have 2, so he is going to go into marketing. And now we add up 6 and 8. That is an even number, so we use this action die, and that means he's going to take a card. Now, because he's not building a card, but he did take marketing, we shift this marketing guy into sponsorship, and he gets this $1 on top of the bank. Which card does he take? Let's roll the die. He's going to take the 3rd card in the row. That's good for us because that is only a 2-point card. We're going to place one worker right here for a city car. And this column, we're going to take this environmental trait. The environmental trait is actually going to cover up the safety trait right here for our mini car. We are going to pay 1 to build a mini car. And it's going to have the 5 from the station tiles, and then it's going to have high speed and environmental. Coming over here to Europe, we have high speed and environmental, adding 7 more stars to the 5 it already has. And that is a total of 12 stars. 12 is taken on the boat. I do not want to spend any more workers to bump that up. So we are going to go ahead and go back and take the 1 point for that further boat. But either way, we did make a car with spoiler or with chrome, so we get 2 points for that. Akio does have 2 workers available, so he will play onto the board 2 and 3. 2 is the first column, 3 is the second row. So he's going to take this 2 popularity station tile and place it right there on his 6th position in his factory. Placing the 2 workers, he's going to take that space and that space. 2 plus 3 is an odd number, being 5, so that's the left side. He's going to build an SUV and sell it to America. So this SUV is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stars with environmental speed and safety. In America, the only trait he has is the speed, so he's going to take his 11 stars and add 3 more for 14 stars to America. That places it into that boat for 3 points. Trying to catch up with as much points as possible. I think that's going to come from replacing this worker of Akio's. And, oh gosh, that gives him 2 workers. He'll play again then. No, I don't think I can have him play again. He's way too far ahead to make another one. I think instead, I'm going to go down here. Play, I think we're just going to go ahead and pay 3 to hire this manager for 3 points. That does deplete us of all money. We're going to just grab the top card of the deck because none of the up face cards look good. This one doesn't look good to us either. Our sports card doesn't have storage. And that's going to end our turn. Akio, though, only has 1 worker left, so he is going to withdraw. If I would have given him another worker, he would have probably made another top car. So this was probably the better call. His remaining worker does go into sponsorship, and he gains this $2 one since it's on top. He then will withdraw, retrieve a dice to see where. Please don't be, okay, that's still not good. He's going to go into that one and thus gain a card. And he gains the first card in the row, which is 3 points. Alright, I have 2 workers left to use, but I have no money, so I can't do anything that costs money. I can't make a car. So at the end of the game, whoever has the most money gets 10 points, and second place gets 6 points. Unless Akio has more than double your amount of money, then you only get 3 points, and if he has more than triple, you get no points. So I don't want him earning any extra points as possible for money, because he's already ahead of me. So I think what we're going to do is take these 2, and we're going to actually displace his 1 worker. He's already withdrawn, so we won't be able to use it. That'll give us a card, which is irrelevant in this case. So we're just going to choose the top card. That would have been nice to have a couple of rounds ago. But more importantly is we're going to take this tile. We're going to gain ourselves $3. This will get us a little bit closer to his $7 that he's going to have at the end of the game. With no workers left, we are now forced to withdraw. We have 4 cars to sell. So I think we have to do this. Now, in the last round of the game, it might seem weird to care about turn position, but this is tiebreaker. If we end up tying at the end of the game, he's going to win because he's in the better sales position. But I think it's more beneficial that I sell all my 4 cars than it is that I break a tie. Akio does only have 1 car to sell because he top card all the rest of them. So he's going to sell this 1 car to America for 3 points. Bring him to 52. Here's where I hopefully make a little bit of my comeback is I'm the only one selling to Europe. Now, I do need to be aware that he's got 7 and I've got $3. So maybe I go for a little bit. Nah, I think I really just got to go crazy here. I think we're just going to put all 3 into points for 12 and this guy right here for 13 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 point behind. Being the end of the game, we're now going to add up all silver medals gained. I think this is where I may make a bigger sway. I think we've completed more cars than he has. But let's check out. First, his factory rather, has 1, 2, 3, 4 medals. Adding on to 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 13. And there's 16 points of medals. Adding 16 points to Akio, we have 1, then we'll go 5, 10, and 15. All right, so we have all that gap to make up with our cards and board. I feel good about this. We got pretty thick cards here. On our board, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 alone on the board. And we have 12, 16, 24, 26 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we go 20 more. So that's going to be 10, and that's over here is going to be 20. So we are in the lead. Finally, time to check money. I have $3 at the end of the game. He has 7. So he will definitely gain the 10 points for having the most money, which temporarily puts him ahead. And now, as I said, if he has more than double than I do, which he actually does, because if I have 3, double it is 6, he has more than that, then I don't get the second place position. I get the third place position. So I get 3 points instead of 6. And I actually won the game by 2. Now, if, let's say, by chance, I only had $1, he would now have more than triple of my amount of money, and I would then have gained 0 points at the end of the game. So you have to always stay at least close in the money, so that way he doesn't get a 10-point spread on you. So taking that last tile of $3 saved the game for us, giving us 3 points instead of 0, and we win.
Whew! Just narrowly squeaked out a win there. You'll be surprised at how competitive Akio can be in this variant. Due to the nature of a dice-driven player, it is possible to experience games that Akio is completely dumb and you win easily, and other times when you have no chance of catching up. But those are rarer events. If anything, this variant gets this great game to the table with enough obstacles to make you a better player with each play. If you have any questions on the game or its solo variant, post them below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Enjoy your game!